Last summer, I spent over $120 on mosquito control, citronella candles, DEET spray, plug-in repellents, those little coils you light on fire that smoke up the entire patio. I tried all of it, every product the hardware store had to offer. And every single evening, I walked outside, sat down in my backyard, and within 5 minutes, I was covered in bites. My wife stopped coming outside after June. My kids played in the front yard instead of the back. We basically lost our backyard for 3 months because mosquitoes owned it. $120. 3 months of summer, and the mosquitoes won. This year, I spent $1, one single dollar on one single ingredient from the grocery store. Something that was already in my kitchen. Something so simple, so ordinary, that when I tell you what it is, you're going to think I'm joking. I'm not joking, because this year, we ate dinner outside every single night in June. My kids play in the backyard every day. My wife reads on the patio in the evening. And I haven't seen a mosquito in our yard in over 3 weeks. $1 versus $120. And the $1 solution works better than all of them combined. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, exactly how to use it, and exactly why it works. But first, I need to explain why everything you've been buying doesn't work. Because once you understand why those products fail, you'll understand why this kitchen spice succeeds. Let's talk about how mosquitoes find you, because this is the key to everything. Mosquitoes don't find you by sight. They can barely see. They find you by smell. Specifically, they detect carbon dioxide. The CO2 you exhale with every breath creates a plume, an invisible trail in the air that mosquitoes can follow from over 50 feet away. Once they get closer, within about 15 feet, they switch to a second detection system: body heat and moisture. Your skin radiates infrared heat and releases moisture through sweat. Mosquitoes have sensors on their antennae that lock onto both signals. And once they land on you, they use a third system: chemical receptors on their legs that taste your skin and detect specific compounds in your sweat. Some people are more attractive to mosquitoes than others, and this is why. It's not blood type, despite what you've heard, it's the specific blend of chemicals your skin produces. So mosquitoes use a triple targeting system: CO2 from far away, heat and moisture from medium range, skin chemistry from close range. Now think about what most mosquito products do. Citronella candles, they produce a smell that mildly confuses mosquitoes within about a 3-foot radius. 3 feet. Your backyard is 1,000 square feet. One candle covers less than 1% of the space. You'd need 40 candles to cover your whole yard. That's a fire hazard, not a mosquito solution. DEET spray, it works on your skin. It masks the chemical signals that mosquitoes detect at close range. But it does nothing about the CO2 trail. Mosquitoes still fly towards you, they still buzz around your head, they just can't land effectively on the treated skin. And DEET wears off in 2 to 4 hours, smells terrible, and a lot of parents don't want it on their kids. Those electric bug zappers with the blue light, they kill insects. But studies have shown that less than 5% of the insects killed by zappers are actually mosquitoes. The rest are moths, beetles, and other harmless bugs. Mosquitoes aren't attracted to UV light. They're attracted to CO2. The zapper is killing everything except the thing you want dead. This is why you keep losing. You're fighting a triple sensor predator with single-purpose products. A candle here, a spray there, a zapper in the corner. None of them address the full targeting system, and the mosquitoes fly right through the gaps. The kitchen spice I'm about to show you does something different, something none of those products do. It jams all 3 systems at once. If you're watching this and thinking about your own backyard right now, and those summer evenings you've been spending indoors because the mosquitoes made it unbearable outside, you might want to subscribe to this channel, because this is just the first video. I'm building a complete pest-free yard system. Mosquitoes today, ants next week, wasps after that. Every pest that's ruining your outdoor time, I'm going to show you how to eliminate it for pennies. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the ant video, because the method I found for ants is even crazier than this one. Okay, the spice. It's garlic. Not garlic powder from the spice aisle, although that works in a pinch. Fresh garlic, a full head of garlic, the kind you buy for $1 at any grocery store, sitting right there next to the onions. Garlic contains a compound called allicin. When garlic is crushed, chopped, or blended, the cell walls break and an enzyme called alliin into allicin. Allicin is what gives garlic its sharp, pungent smell. It's also a potent sulfur compound. And here's what allicin does to mosquitoes. It overwhelms their CO2 detection system. The sulfur compounds in garlic are so strong, so pungent, so chemically aggressive that they essentially blind the mosquito's primary sensor. The mosquito can't detect the CO2 plume from your breath because the garlic sulfur compounds saturate the air and drown out the signal. Think of it like trying to hear someone whisper in a room where someone else is screaming. The whisper is your CO2. The scream is the garlic. The mosquito can't hear the whisper anymore. But it goes further. Allicin also disrupts the heat and moisture detection at medium range. The sulfur molecules coat surfaces they're sprayed on and create a chemical barrier that interferes with the infrared sensors on mosquito antennae. And at close range, the residual garlic compounds on surfaces make everything smell like garlic to the mosquito. Not like human skin, not like sweat, like garlic. And mosquitoes hate garlic. They've evolved over millions of years to find humans, not Italian restaurants, triple jamming, CO2 blocked, heat detection disrupted, skin chemistry masked. The mosquito flies into your yard and has no idea where you are. It can't find you, so it leaves. This isn't folk wisdom. This isn't an old wives' tale. Colorado State University studied garlic-based mosquito repellents and found significant reduction in mosquito activity. There's a commercial product called Mosquito Barrier that's literally just concentrated garlic juice. It sells for $25 to $30 a bottle, and landscaping companies charge $200 per application to spray it on your yard. You're going to make the same thing for $1 in your kitchen in 5 minutes. Here's the recipe. Take 1 full head of garlic, not 1 clove, 1 full head, that's usually about 10 to 12 cloves. Peel all of them, put them in a blender with 2 cups of water, blend until it's a smooth liquid. You want garlic soup, no chunks. Strain the liquid through a cheesecloth, a coffee filter, or a fine mesh strainer. You want pure garlic juice with no solid pieces that would clog a sprayer. Add the strained garlic liquid to 1 gallon of water in a bucket, then add 1 tablespoon of dish soap, regular, clear dish soap. The soap serves as an emulsifier. It helps the garlic oil blend with the water instead of separating, and it also acts as a surfactant that makes the solution stick to surfaces instead of beating off. That's it. 1 head of garlic, 1 gallon of water, 1 tablespoon of soap. Pour it into a pump sprayer, the same kind you'd use for lawn treatment. Set the nozzle to a fine mist. Now here's how to apply it. And this is important because where you spray matters more than how much you spray. You're not spraying yourself. You're not spraying the air. You're spraying the perimeter of your yard and the surfaces where mosquitoes rest during the day. Mosquitoes spend most of their time resting. They're only actively flying and hunting for about 30 minutes around dawn and 30 minutes around dusk. The rest of the time, they sit on the undersides of leaves, on tall grass, on fences, on the shady side of your house, on deck furniture, waiting. Spray these resting spots, the undersides of bushes and shrubs, the lower branches of trees, along fences, the shaded sides of your house, garage, and shed, under the deck, around any standing water features. Spray the perimeter of your yard about 3 feet in from the property line. This creates a garlic barrier that incoming mosquitoes have to cross. And spray any area where you sit outside. The patio, the deck, around the grill, around outdoor furniture, not on the furniture itself unless you want everything to smell like garlic for a few hours, but on the ground and vegetation around the sitting area. 1 gallon covers about 1,500 to 2,000 square feet. For most backyards, 1 gallon is enough for a full perimeter treatment plus the key resting areas. Now let me tell you what to expect, because I want to set realistic expectations. Within the first hour, you will smell garlic in your yard. Strongly. Your neighbor might ask what you're cooking. This is normal and it fades. For humans, the garlic smell dissipates within 4 to 6 hours. By the next morning, you won't smell anything. But mosquitoes will. Their sense of smell is thousands of times more sensitive than yours. The garlic compounds that you can't detect the next day are still screaming at mosquitoes. For 3 to 5 days, sometimes up to a week depending on weather, your yard will be effectively mosquito-free. After that, you reapply 1 head of garlic, 5 minutes. Done. I apply every Sunday evening. It's become part of my weekend routine. Blend garlic, strain, spray. Takes less time than mowing the lawn, and it means we have a mosquito-free yard from Monday through Saturday. Let me give you the optimal application timing, because this makes a real difference. Spray in the late evening, ideally about an hour before sunset. There are 2 reasons for this. First, the spray needs time to dry on leaf surfaces before dew or overnight moisture can wash it off. Late evening gives it the longest dry window before morning dew. Second, mosquitoes become active at dusk. If you spray an hour before they come out, the garlic barrier is fresh and at maximum potency right when it matters most. Never spray in the middle of a hot, sunny day. The heat evaporates the garlic compounds before they can settle on surfaces, and direct sun breaks down allicin faster. Evening application gives you the strongest, longest-lasting protection. One more timing tip that nobody talks about. After the first application, wait 3 days and apply again. Then switch to once a week. The reason is that garlic spray has a cumulative effect. The sulfur compounds build up on surfaces and in the soil over multiple applications. The first application gives you 3 to 4 days of protection, but after 2 or 3 weekly applications, the background level of garlic compounds in your yard is high enough that each new application lasts longer. By week 4, some of my treated areas stayed mosquito-free for 9 or 10 days between applications. The garlic is conditioning your yard, making it permanently inhospitable to mosquitoes, and that conditioning effect gets stronger over time. Rain will wash it off faster. If you get heavy rain, reapply the next day. Light rain or morning dew doesn't seem to affect it much. The soap helps the solution adhere to leaf surfaces even through light moisture. Now, let me tell you about the bonus effects. Because garlic doesn't just repel mosquitoes, ticks. Garlic spray repels ticks. If you live in a Lyme disease area, this is huge. Spray the edges of your lawn where it meets woods or tall grass. That's the tick highway. The garlic barrier disrupts their ability to detect approaching animals and humans. Gnats and no-see-ums, those tiny biting flies that swarm around your face at dusk, garlic repels them too. Same mechanism. Sulfur compounds overwhelm their detection systems. Fleas. If you have a dog that plays in the yard, garlic spray on the grass reduces flea populations. The garlic doesn't kill adult fleas, but it disrupts their ability to find hosts, which reduces biting and reproduction. Aphids and some garden pests. Garlic spray is actually a well-known organic gardening tool for repelling aphids, whiteflies, and spider mites. If you have a vegetable garden or flower beds, the same spray that's protecting you from mosquitoes is protecting your plants from pests. $1, one product, multiple pests eliminated. Compare that to buying separate products for each pest at the hardware store. Mosquito spray, tick spray, flea treatment, aphid killer. You're looking at $40 to $60 in specialized products that you could replace with a head of garlic. Let me address some questions I know you're going to ask. Does it affect bees? No. Bees navigate primarily by sight, UV patterns on flowers, and pheromones. The garlic compounds don't interfere with their navigation systems. I've been spraying my yard for 6 weeks, and my pollinator garden is buzzing with bees every day. Garlic repels blood-seeking insects, not pollinators. Does it affect pets? Once the spray dries, which takes about 30 minutes, it's safe for dogs and cats. Don't let pets walk on wet spray, as the soap can cause mild paw irritation. But once dry, completely safe. Some dogs might investigate the garlic smell for a few minutes. That's normal. Does it kill the grass? No. Garlic spray is actually mildly beneficial for grass. The sulfur compounds have antifungal properties that can help prevent lawn diseases. It's like a mild fungicide treatment for free. Can I use garlic powder instead of fresh garlic? Yes, but it's less effective. Fresh garlic contains significantly more allicin than dried powder. If fresh garlic isn't available, use 2 tablespoons of garlic powder per gallon of water. It works, just not as potently or as long. What about garlic-sensitive people? If you or a family member has a garlic allergy, don't use this method. The spray produces airborne garlic compounds that could trigger a reaction during the first few hours before the human-detectable smell fades. Switch to a different natural repellent. I'll cover alternatives in a future video. Let me tell you something that happened last week that convinced me to make this channel. My neighbor saw me spraying my yard on Sunday evening. He walked over, looked at my sprayer, and asked what service I was using. I told him I was spraying garlic water. He laughed. He literally laughed and said that's the dumbest thing he'd ever heard. Wednesday evening, he was outside trying to grill. I watched him slap his arms, wave his hands around his head, and go back inside after 10 minutes. His citronella torches were burning. His zapper was buzzing, and the mosquitoes were eating him alive. Meanwhile, I was sitting on my patio with my wife, eating dinner, watching the sunset. Not a single bite. Thursday morning, he knocked on my door and asked me to show him the recipe. That's the moment I decided to make this channel, because there are millions of people spending hundreds of dollars on products that don't work, while a $1 head of garlic does the job better than all of them combined, and nobody is telling them. This information should be free. It should be on the front page of every home and garden website every summer, but it's not, because there's no money in telling people to buy garlic. The mosquito control industry in the United States is worth over $11 billion per year. $11 billion. That's candles, sprays, zappers, coils, professional services, and subscription programs. All of it threatened by a $1 head of garlic. Do you think any of those companies want you to know what I just told you? Do you think the maker of that $40 citronella torch set wants you to know that garlic works better for a fraction of a penny? Of course not. So they don't tell you. And you keep buying products that don't work. Year after year, summer after summer, not anymore. Until now. One more thing before you go. I mentioned that mosquitoes breed in standing water, and the garlic spray handles adults. But if you want to hit mosquitoes where they breed, there's a second kitchen trick that's almost too simple. Coffee grounds. Used coffee grounds. The ones sitting in your coffee maker right now. Sprinkle used coffee grounds on the surface of any standing water in your yard. Bird baths, plant saucers, puddles that won't drain, rain barrel openings, anywhere water sits for more than a few days. Coffee grounds float on the surface and create a film that prevents mosquito larvae from breathing. Mosquito larvae need to come to the surface to breathe through a tiny tube called a siphon. The coffee ground film blocks the siphon, larvae suffocate and die before they ever become adult mosquitoes. It also discourages adult females from laying eggs in that water. They can sense the coffee compounds and avoid it. Free, effective, and you're recycling waste instead of throwing it away. Garlic spray for adults, coffee grounds for larvae, total cost $1 in whatever you are going to throw in the trash anyway. Your yard doesn't need a pest control company. It doesn't need DEET. It doesn't need $40 specialty products. It needs garlic, coffee grounds, and 5 minutes of your time once a week. If this video helped you, subscribe. I'm releasing a new pest elimination video every week. Next up is ants. And the method I found makes every ant hill in your yard collapse within 24 hours. But it doesn't harm your grass, your pets, or the earthworms that keep your soil healthy. Same format, cheap kitchen ingredients versus expensive products that don't work as well. Drop a comment telling me what pest is ruining your yard this summer. Mosquitoes? Ants? Wasps? Ticks? Slugs? Whatever it is, it's getting its own video. And I'll show you how to beat it for less than the cost of a cup of coffee.